Shalom, Apostle Hawk coming back at you with this truth, giving all praise to Yahweh by Hashem and Hawashai by Hashem Rakah Kwadash. And I'm going to entitle this video, Babylon the Great is America, More Proof. Anyway, I want to do a video on Isaiah. I wanted to go back to these breakdowns, so I wanted to do a video on Isaiah the 13th chapter. And what I did was I put in the search engine of YouTube, I put in Isaiah the 13th chapter, and a whole bunch of videos came up. Most of them on GMS on the subject. So I said, yeah, I don't have to do a video on Isaiah the 13th chapter. Maybe in the future I'll do another one, maybe go a little bit more in depth. But there's plenty of scriptures, including a couple of, I believe at least one video on a breakdown of Isaiah the 13th chapter was something that I put up. But a lot of the men, and I believe I typed in Isaiah the 13th chapter, and I think GMS popped up. You know, when you go to the search engine, it kind of popped up. So I believe I might have clicked on that. But I wanted to just put in Isaiah the 13th chapter. Anyway, what I did was I went to the Blue Letter and I put in Babylon the Great, and a handful of scriptures popped up, which made my job a lot easier. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go through these scriptures that come up. If you don't have scriptures, all you got to do is put in the phrase, and a whole bunch of scriptures will come up. And as you read through these scriptures, more scriptures will come to mind, or should come to mind. Anyway, what I did was I put Babylon, the fall of Babylon, or Babylon the Great is America, or is Babylon the Great America, and something popped up on Google, and I was just going down through the different titles, and what caught my eyes was it said the fall of Babylon, the fall of Babylon the Great America, and it was written by a man by the name of Michael D. Fortner. So I figured that is the spirit. Alert popped up for a GMS Apostle Ramlab's page, and then maybe like 10 seconds later, an alert popped up for Apostle Gabar's page. So what they do is a daily edification, which, hey, you know, that's the spirit, you know. You got to be edified. Anyway, what popped up was this book, like I said, and I saw the name, the author of the book, name is Michael D. Fortner. And so I immediately said, well, that guy's an Edomite, you know. I wasn't sure, so I said, well, let me put in Michael D. Fortner, and what popped up is a guy that looks like an Edomite. He has a full beard. You see the picture right there, and a statement is made. It said, God never. This is his quote: God never asked us to do something that costs us nothing. There is a price to pay to accomplish anything for God. And then he has a web page at the bottom, which is www.bibleprophecy.com. So this man, you know, has to be, you know, he's heavily into prophecy, which 2018 is the year of prophecy. We know this man right here, whether he's an Edomite or Israelite that looks like an Edomite, that he's not a Baptist. He's someone that really goes into the scriptures. Anyway, let me go to this page here dealing with this book, the Fall of Babylon, the Great America, by Michael D. Fortner. And this is what he said. He said, this is an analysis of Babylon the Great and shows that it is the United States of America. One of the most difficult things I had to do in my study, keyword study. This man studies. For him to come to this conclusion, that means he did a lot of deep studying. It says I had to do in my studies. One of the most difficult things I had to do in my study of Bible prophecy was come to the realization that America is Babylon the Great, BTG, Babylon the Great. I did not want to believe it. Now, this shows you that this man has some level of integrity, because, you know, most people, if they see something like this clown, Vocab Malone, we showed them the scriptures. Anything that we said, we backed it up by the scriptures. Like, for example, I keep throwing reincarnation, the subject of reincarnation, in this clown's face, and he says reincarnation is not in the Bible. But he doesn't say, well, if you go to this scripture and you go to that scripture, and this scripture that you gave me really means this. They don't do that. If they don't know how to break it down or defend it, then they just said, no, it's not. That's a Hindu. That shows you that he's a clown. That's why I haven't been on his page in a while, because he's a clown, man. He's a basic demon. You got advanced demons and basic demons. He's a basic demon that really doesn't understand the scriptures at all. And his followers damn sure don't understand the scriptures. Anytime he does a live stream, you read all the comments of his followers, there's no scriptures. No scriptures. Because why? Because they don't know the scriptures. It says, I'm going to read on. It says, I resisted. Let me read that again. I did not want to believe it. Let me read that one more time. This is what this guy said. The individual said, I did not want to believe it. I resisted because it means, now if I showed this, if I talk to this dude, which I'm probably go on a YouTube and see if I can find him, I'm going to ask about reincarnation, and he most likely will say no. But if I show him the scriptures, he'll come to the conclusion that he's the type of cat that will come to the conclusion that, you know what, reincarnation is biblical. I didn't know that. Thank you for showing me, Apostle Tahar. Because it's study. Your eyes are open because it's study. That's why you go to any Baptist church with a bunch of Negroes and you ask them about Babylon the Great. First of all, they don't know what the hell you're talking about. It says, I resisted because it means that America will be destroyed in a nuclear holocaust. This man did some deep studies. I mean, we know it because we deal with this every day. But he was, he was taken aback by his studies. So he knows that this place, Babylon the Great, will be destroyed by nuclear holocaust. So he probably read Isaiah 13. He probably read Isaiah 34 about the mushroom cloud. Yeah, I'm gonna watch this guy. If he has a YouTube page, I'm gonna see what he says. I'm gonna just follow what he says to see what he says about Bible prophecy. Now I know he's not gonna admit to the fact that the Israelites are the people of North Central and South America of so-called Indian and Negroid descent and Latinos. You know, that's the next step he has to believe. It's gonna hurt, but he has to believe it. But then again, he looks like an Edomite, but he may be an actual Israelite. Only time will tell. It says, but after years of study, let's go back. He says America is Babylon the Great. He said he didn't want to believe it, and he said that he was forced to come to the conclusion that this place will be destroyed in a nuclear holocaust. And also, he had to read Revelation 18 chapter. It says, but after years of study, the evidence forced me to that conclusion. Then I realized that most nations of the world will suffer great destruction to one degree or another, pursuant to what is that? Second Peter 2. You can actually start from the first verse and read down to about the sixth verse. And this is how we know that America will definitely be destroyed because of their sins. And they base this place is based upon the Bible. You have the middle America. You have a Bible belt. So they, when the presidents swear in, they swear in on the Bible, and they have their own personal family Bible that they swear in on. So they're saying that America is a Bible-believing place. Well, they're a bunch of hypocrites. Because if they really knew the Bible, they would know who the real Israelites are. It says based on their sin, so America will also suffer for its sinfulness. I also came to understand that Babylon the Great is not all of America. It is only wicked America, which is all of America. God will destroy wicked America, but he will save a righteous remnant from those who do not go into, it doesn't say anything more. Anyway, well, that righteous remnant are the elect of Israel, and that's in Revelation 18 verse 4. All right. So anyway, what I did was, like I said, I put in the word Babylon the Great, and I'm gonna just breeze through these scriptures. The scriptures that came up. First one was Revelation 17 verse 5, and upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and the abomination of the earth. Now what High Priest Ariad did, if you have the Hebrew New Testament and you Hebrew has a numeric value to it. So when you put together Mystery Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and the abomination of the earth, which is written in all caps, and you total up, it will add up to 666. And when the Ariad showed me that, or showed us that, I was amazed. And Apostle Arimlov did a video breaking that down, and I believe I did one too, but this is going back years ago, maybe in 2008 or whatever. So if that video's up, if he can send it to me, and I'll either put it up, or he can do a video. I may do another video. I have to find my New Testament Hebrew, which is around the house somewhere. Anyway, and that goes hand in hand with Revelation 13 and 18. And his numbers 606. It says Revelation 18 and 2, and he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the Great is fallen, has become the habitation of devils, and the hole of every foul spirit, and the cage of every unclean and hateful bird. Now, what High Priest Ariad taught was that's when Esau came in and took down the Indians, and a hateful bird is a homosexual. No, it's talking about when this place is completely destroyed and it becomes a desert. And Revelation 18 verse 2 goes hand in hand with Isaiah 34, I believe it's the 16th verse, where it speaks about those desert type animals. The only thing that's going to be in America are these desert creatures. The next scripture is Jeremiah 50 verse 9. And you know what? You know, when you come across like Revelation 18, you want to read the whole chapter. because the whole chapter is dedicated to the destruction of Babylon the Great. Isaiah the 34th chapter, if not the whole chapter, you want to read most of the chapter. Revelation 17 and 5, you want to read the whole chapter. You got a lot of Israelites out there that go out on the highways and the byways, and if you question them on Revelation the 17th chapter, certain verses, they won't even know how to break it down. I mean, I'll give brothers credit for going out there, and I'm talking about the other camps that's pushing Israel, but you got a lot of them that don't know all these scriptures. And this is why we say we got 100% truth, because you have to have 100% truth, because the Lord came to Ezekiel in the 3rd chapter, the 2nd chapter and the 3rd chapter, and he said, and I might go through that today, on the highways and the byways. I might go into Ezekiel 2nd chapter and Ezekiel 3rd chapter, or most of it. Anyway, you're supposed to eat the whole roll, not take a couple of bites and all of a sudden you're the great prophet and you keep with the basics. Because that's what these people come up, when they come up, they go, oh, what about John 3:16? And come on, man. Come on. You've been there, done that. Anyway, it says, Jeremiah 50 verse 9, for lo, I will rise and cause to come up against Babylon an assembly of great nations, because ultimately, and I can also, you know what? This is what I'm going to do. An assembly of great nations from the north country, and they shall set themselves in array against her. Now, we know that this is not talking about ancient Babylon, because ancient Babylon, the way the king of Babylon was killed was by a surgical strike. They were drunk, they were eating, they were the handwriting on the wall, mini tickle. And it was, who was that? Darius, that made Babylon a province of ultimately the Mede and Persian Empire. So let me read the 9th verse again. Jeremiah 50 verse 9. For lo, I will rise and cause to come up against Babylon, which is America, an assembly of great nations from the north country, mainly from Russia. And then you have other countries that are going to join in with Russia, including the allies of America, which is Revelation, the 17th chapter, and the 12th verse, around there. And they shall set themselves in array against us, so a military formation. From thence she shall be taken. Their arrows, which are the missiles, all right, shall be as of now. Nazariah will tell you that they're gonna come to Vatican City, and they're gonna actually have bow and arrows, and they're gonna shoot bow and arrows on Vatican City. The Most High is getting ready to drop that nigga like a bad habit. Their arrows shall be as of a mighty expert man, none shall return in vain. Next scripture, Isaiah 51 verse 54. A sound, and I'm tempted to read the whole chapter, both the 50th chapter, Jeremiah 50 and 51. It says, a sound of a cry cometh from Babylon the great, destruction from the land of the Chaldeans. This is talking about America. And if you understand the scriptures, you would know that it's not talking about ancient Babylon. Revelation 14 verse 8. This is another scripture that has, you have to read this whole, you have to start from the 1st verse, but we're going to the 8th verse. And there followed another angel saying, Babylon is fallen, the great city, because she made all nations drink of the wine of the wrath of her fornication. In other words, they went to bed with America, the American system. Well, all your countries, all the leaders are voted in. So what did they do? They adopted the American way of democracy. Okay, so that's how they went to bed with her. And they know when they come to that General Assembly, that whole UN thing was set up by Edomites. So they're coming under the banner of the Edomites, man. That's why it's in New York. That's why it's in America, which is the seat of Satan. It says in Revelation 16, verse 19, and the great city was divided into three parts. When you go in the book of Genesis, it speaks about the sons of men, the sons of the wicked, and the sons of God, the sons of the power. So you have three classifications of people in America: the heathens, Edomites, which is the heathen, and Israelites. And the cities of the nations fell, and great Babylon came in remembrance before the Most High to give unto her the cup of the wine of the fierceness of his wrath. And that's also spoken in Jeremiah, the 49th chapter. And it mentions Edomites, the Esau. Revelation 18 and 10, standing afar off for the fear of her torment, saying, and we strongly believe that it's going to happen during the Trump administration, because he's doing too many goddamn things, man. And even the Republicans are coming against this guy now. All these individuals, like what's this guy, Michael Rivero, he was saying, yeah, it's great we got Trump in, he's going to do some things, and now he's saying we made a big mistake putting Trump in. And you have a lot of these internet YouTube guys, I'll say, that they're starting to see that this guy is not going to make America great. Okay? The only thing great, he is going to make America great. It's going to have a great fall. Okay, so he's not lying about that. He is going to make America great again. It's going to have a great fall. And that all the peoples, the nations of the earth, everybody's going to look at it. It's going to be televised on Euro News, on RT, on all these Press TV, on Al Jazeera, on Japanese TV, on Chinese TV. They're all going to watch the downfall of this place. Hey, when the World Trade Centers went down, the whole world stopped. And look, everybody stopped what they're doing to see that. And that was just two buildings. Ultimately, three. You have building number 7. And I remember I used to do deliveries down there, and I used to hate going down there. I used to hate going down there, man, and doing fucking deliveries. So I would go down there, drop the package off at the mailroom, and get the fuck out of Dodge, man. Anyway, they made a big deal for years. They made a big deal about the World Trade Centers going down, the Twin Towers going down. And then, you know, what's ironic is it took a certain number of years, and they rebuilt the tower, and it's called, what is it called? I think it's One World Trade Center, which is your New World Order, One World. And then the height of it is 1,776 feet, I believe. And they broadcast it on the news. I think with the peak of it, it's a little off, but it's approximately 1776 feet in the air. Excuse me. So what does that go back to? Is it talking about the founding of America? No, it goes back to the founding of the Illuminati. Adam Weishaupt, 1776, May 1st. Revelation 18, verse 10. Standing afar off for the fear of her torment, saying, Alas, alas, that great city Babylon, that mighty city, which is America, for in 1 hour is thy judgment come. 21st verse. And a mighty angel took up a stone like a great millstone and cast it into the sea, saying, Thus with violence shall that great city Babylon be thrown down, and shall be found no more at all, because it's going to become a great desert. Anyway, you know, this particular subject, there's so many scriptures in my head when I was going through these scriptures, and there's so many scriptures that I went through, I could have easily went up a couple of verses here or went to the first verse. Actually, in Revelation 18 chapter, you want to read the whole chapter. You want to read the whole chapter because the whole chapter is dedicated to the destruction. And around the fourth verse, not around the fourth verse, but at the fourth verse speaks about our deliverance coming up out of her, that we do not receive her plagues. And then it goes into the destruction. It goes into all the riches and the wealth that they possess, the material wealth, and the music that's, there's a lot of, most music come out of America, man. All these different genres of music come out of America. The blues, jazz, ain't that something? And they come from Israelites. Hip hop, you got Edomites want to do hip hop, man. Been wanting to do hip hop and doing hip hop. And sometimes you have Edomites do it better than Jake. But where did hip hop come from? It came from America. Where did bebop come from? It came from America. Where did swing come from? It came from America by Jake. Latin music come from the Americas. Salsa, merengue. The majority of all the music came from America. It didn't come from Europe. All the Europeans had was classical music and Baroque music. And those were Jake's back then. So we are the Israelites, man. And you can't stop the truth.